Another video behind the scenes of our meetup. This meetup was special, and I want to take you guys so you can see what it's like to just be a part of a community and be a part of something that you actually come to an event to learn. And some of the key things that I learned so that you could take away from running the meetup and some of the questions that were asked were literally amazing, spectacular questions when it comes to real estate investing. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I do these meetups in Miami once a month. It's the last Tuesday of the month here in my office. I literally have nothing to sell. There's no credit cards that you got to pull out. There's no upsell to no mastermind, no nothing. I just literally share my screen. I show you what it's like to do real deals here in this market, 2022, live, vivo and directo. So I just want to go over two of the main questions that I got in the meetup, and I want to answer it for you here before I take you behind the scenes, and so you can see what it was like, that were really impressive to me. So one of the questions I got is, what's happening to the market? We are right now in, what day is today? We're in May 2022, and things have been shifting. Interest rates have gone up. Price reductions are going up, meaning more houses are being reduced on the market. There's more inventory available now. In Arizona, there was 3,000 listings available for like 3-4 months ago. Now there's 10,000 listings available, and that's a big deal. So what is happening? And I love that question because that shows that you're forward thinking. And my answer to this was, it's always a good time to buy a good deal. What do I mean by that? If you find a property that fits your criteria, that fits your needs for an investment, that makes you passive income, or that makes you a good flip revenue, it's always a good time to buy a good deal. But what I expect in this market is that the winners will win, the losers will really lose. So how am I preparing? How can you prepare? The way that you can prepare is by simply making your standards very strict on the houses that you buy or the properties that you buy. So what we're doing is that I'm not buying houses unless I make a higher income on it now. So before, I was okay buying houses at $400 a month net for passive income, for cash flow. So if I were to buy a rental probably for $100,000 and they rented for $1,000, if after the mortgage, taxes, insurance, all my expenses, if I was making $400 to my pocket, I was happy. Now that's gone up to $800. So I want to make double. For flips, I was okay making a deal to do $35,000. So if I bought a house, fixed it and flipped it, and I made $35,000 to me, I was happy. Now that went up to $55,000. So I'm getting more strict on my standards, but it's always a good time to buy good deals. So that was my answer to him on what the market is doing. Yes, pay attention. Yes, be aware. Yes, do your research. Yes, listen to podcasts, but don't let it affect you on how you make offers and how you make money. Let it affect what you do in the macro perspective of how often you do it or what your standards are. Make your standards strict and then keep going in there and buying properties. So that was one of the questions I really loved because it's very relevant to this market. Another question that I got that was interesting was, hey man, why don't you just do what you're doing and do multifamily or do commercial or do, storage units and things like that? Like, why don't you wholesale bigger things for bigger spreads? And it's a good question. And I love the question because it shows that he's very curious on why are we doing single families to fourplexes? That's our bread and butter. That's our niche. And the one word I answered him was just simple: focus. Hey man, that's awesome. Like, yes, I definitely think that I can make $100,000 or you can make $100,000 flipping a storage unit or flipping an apartment complex. Yes, that is possible. But I want to get so freaking good at flipping little houses. And I mean, we made $81,000 wholesaling a single family home in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago. We made $79,000 flipping another home in Vegas. And I never even bought it. I never even put any of my cash. It was just a straight wholesale. So there's so much money to be made in the single family to fourplex space, the residential space. There's so much money to be made that I want to be laser focused. Like, I want to be a ninja on that. And I mean, there's companies doing 20, 30, 40, maybe not 40, but 20, $30 million a year wholesaling and flipping these types of houses. And so I just think there's so much of the pie to get on the residential space that I stay laser focused in it. And yes, I do like multifamily. I have flipped some multifamily, 16 units, 12 units. I have flipped a bunch of 6 units. I'm interested obviously in buying a commercial property, but I'm going to focus in my lane. I'm going to stay in my lane. And if I can make 20, $30 million a year wholesaling, flipping houses, I mean, why not? Right. So yeah, could you venture off and do that? Probably. But there's so much to gain here that I don't think I'm going to do it. So I'll do it slowly. I'll tread slowly, right? Once I get the business to a level I want it to be, then I'll tread slowly on the multifamily space. So I'm sure that's a question you might have, and I want to answer that for you. So without further ado, I'm going to take you to a few clips here of our meetup. And if you're ever in Miami, feel free to come by. It's free. Just come into the office. You can listen. Then we network after, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of deals have been done, and a lot of cool friends have been made here. So I'm very passionate about that. My goal is to get these meetups to be 100 people that come every month. So last meetup we had 32 people, and so I got a ways to go. I'm not where I want to be there yet. So if you want to help and join and come out, feel free. So check out these clips, and if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, like the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Cold text message. I'm not an attorney, so yes, it is a little gray. It's obviously your risk. We've made a lot of money through text, and there are risks involved, but it's up to you to decide. I could say that last year in revenue was over $1 million with text messaging, and we got sued once, and it cost us $2,500. So I'll let you guys decide if you think it's a good worth of your time.
Well, why did you sue? Because of the public information being out there?
TCPA.
TCPA. What does that stand for?
Telephone. But basically, you can't, like, if someone tells you no, you have to stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, prospecting.
Yeah, it's a prospecting thing.
And there's people that will like try to set you up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you're doing one by one, it's not.
It's not
This
that
is for mass.
Yeah. And I'll show you. You can do mass. There's websites like launchcontrol.us, batch leads. These are all websites that you can put these spreadsheets that we just got, and you can send mass texts. And it's legal. It's just great. It could be land. It could be a fire damage house. If the goal is to wholesale it and flip it and make a profit, or what they call an assignment fee profit, if that's the goal, then you can literally wholesale anything. Doesn't matter, mobile home, whatever. Now, if I were to like buy this house as a rental or fix and flip or something, yes, I would look at it a little bit different. But for the sake of the example today, I don't really qualify too much. I just look at these numbers. Okay, it's worth 340. If I get it for 185, I know I can sell it for more than 185 and profit. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, let me ask you, the cash buyer is, he wants to know what's the state of the house. So he has an inspection, or he bought it without even doing the inspection.
Bought it without inspection.
Oh,
We
this
sell
is
all our
based on
houses
price.
without inspection.
Okay. So there is a high risk for him. What happens if the, plumbing, the pipes are broken down?
Yeah, I mean, it's his risk.
It's his risk.
Remember, this buyer, the one that bought this,
Buys a lot.
yeah, just like all I do here is find deals, all this buyer does is fix up houses.
Okay.
So his business is he can see this house by the pictures. He can drive by and be like, oh, this is gonna be $32,000 to fix it.
Okay.
Like he just knows this is business. That's,
Is the seller's lawyers ever asked for proof of funds? Barely.
1 out of 200.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Very rarely. And our escrow deposit is $200. So
wow.
So that's my risk. Yeah.
Oh wow.
For every house. We've done houses at $600K.
How are these people agreeing to $200 deposit?
They're not. They're agreeing to the deal.
The deal or contract?
The deal. They're just
So
agreeing.
they're not looking at the deposit.
No, not really.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
I guess that's because you're going like direct to seller.
They're going direct to seller. They have no agents. They're virgins. So does that make sense? Does it make sense? Kind of start to finish? You guys understand here?
So, but
Yeah.
So you're always looking for new buyers via like this. You don't have like a partnership thing.
No. Good question. And some people do this. So deal example number 2. This is in Miami. This happened, I think, in March. We closed, I want to say. So this came from SMS, from text. So we use a website called Launch Control. We get that list. We blast a bunch of text messages.